to my YouTube channel. It is Nikki here. So today I have a really fun video. Makeup Revolution just recently came out with their Conceal and Define Concealers. I feel like everyone's been going crazy for them. And I've done a first impressions and review. I don't kind of want to give away what my thoughts are because I want you guys to watch it. I want you to see the demo and kind of figure it out for yourself. And I give you my opinion towards the end. I ended up getting 3 shades. I believe they've got like 12 shades. They've got a really big shade range, but I'll go over that through the video as well. I ended up getting C5, C10 and C15. So I got a colour that was close to what I thought was my natural colour. My natural skin colour. I got one to highlight with and I got one to contour with, just to play around with them and let you guys know what I thought. So if you want to see what I thought of these concealers, how I use them, how I make them work as well, and just for this quick natural makeup tutorial, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so I've just literally tied my hair up. We've got a bare skin and I'm going to start off just by doing my foundation because I want to do it how I usually do my concealer and give it a fair shot. So I'm going to be using the MAC Strobe Cream. This is in the shade Goldlite. I love this shade. I also recently started using the Peach Light as well, which is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and then just massage this all over my face and my chest area. I recently just went and got my face threaded and I feel like it's like baby skin smooth. Like, it's so fresh. I love it. I love it when I get all the hair removed off my face. I don't know, I'm kind of addicted. Go every 2 weeks, but it just looks so clean. Like, my skin looks so plump, so clean. Makeup goes on so much nicer as well. Let me know down below if you get your face threaded. I get everything done all the way down to my neck. Okay, so the foundations that I usually use will depend on how I'm feeling today. Okay, so the foundation that I usually use will depend on how I'm feeling. I'm feeling quite fresh, quite light. I want something quite airy, so I'm going to be using the MAC Face and Body. You guys know, if you are OGs, then you know that I used to use this all the time, and then I obviously started using different foundations. But I'm going to go back to it today. I like to mix Face and Body in C5, mixing it with a little bit of C6. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that on a damp beauty blender and get that all over the skin, just to give us a really nice blank canvas. So a lot of you guys ask me, what is Face and Body like? Honestly, it is the sheerest foundation I've ever used in my life. You can build it up. The reason why I like to use it is because when I want something just really lightweight that I can't really feel on the skin, but it gives me a little bit of coverage before I add my heavy concealer, because you guys know that like a heavy duty concealer, it's what I'll use. So you can see that it's like naturally just kind of tinted the skin and giving it a one-tone color, but it's still natural enough that you can see my natural skin peeking through. Okay, so this is the Face and Body up close. I've got foundation on my skin and that's it. I'm really excited because we are going to be reviewing the Makeup Revolution concealers. These are called the Conceal and Define. They're still in their packaging, so we need to open them out. It is so hard to get into. Okay, so I feel like this is a big deal for me because you guys know that I love my MAC Pro Long Wear Concealer. I use it in every single tutorial. But I want to try these out. I've seen that they've literally just been launched. They're pretty cute. They're plastic bottles with a rose gold sticker on the front, and then it's got the shades at the bottom. They do them in numbers, starting off with a C. I believe they've got 12 different shades. Your girl was not going to buy them all, so she did swatch them in store and take a photo for you guys, which I'll insert here so you can see that. But I picked up 3 shades. I picked up one to contour with, one that looks fairly kind of like my skin color, and then also one to highlight with. The colors that I've got are C14, C10 and C5, just for shade reference for you guys. Okay, let's just open this and see how I feel on first glance. Oh, I love that sound. The doe for foot applicator is very much like the Tarte Shape Tape, which is crazy. It looks very, very similar. And on first swatch, it's so full coverage. When I was swatching them in store, they are very, very, very full coverage. But my only mishap is when I was blending them out, they blend out a little bit pink. I feel like a lot of the shades were quite pink, so these are the only ones that I could see with a little bit more of an olive undertone. But I'm really excited to try it because it's got so much coverage to it. So I'm going to be applying the Conceal and Define in C10 just underneath my eyes. I might apply a little bit around my mouth area as well, and then I'm just going to buff that out using the damp beauty blender, and we're going to see how we get on with that. Okay, so the colour definitely looks a little bit too pale for my liking. I think we all know, because I've got dark circles, I like to go a little bit darker and then I brighten on top. I'm just going to buff this out using a damp beauty blender. We're going to see what we're left with in terms of colour. Okay, so the coverage on this is literally insane. You can see that. The colour's actually not bad at all. I actually really like it. I feel like it goes into my skin tone. If it was me, I'd probably want it a little bit darker. But the C10 has done such a good job. What I'm going to do is, because your girl's a little bit extra, I'm just going to dot on a little bit more and buff that out just to give me the utmost coverage. Okay, so I'm living for this. I love this concealer. I think this concealer for £4, guys, honestly, for £4, I don't think you can go wrong. Look how much coverage it's given me, so much coverage. And it's erased my dark circles and it hasn't made them look ashy, which is insane. Okay, so for highlight, I actually got the shade number C5. It is a little bit lighter, but the reason why I got this one is because it looked the most yellow out of the shade range. So I picked this bad boy up. I'm just going to use it as I would normally, using it as a highlight just underneath my eyes. I'm going to take that down the bridge of my nose, just on top of my forehead and my cupid's bow and chin area, and then I'm going to buff this bad boy out with the damp beauty blender as well. Okay, so the only thing that I would say is it is looking a little bit light, and I felt like it looked a little bit cakey. I feel like it is looking a little bit cakey underneath my eyes just right now, but I think that when I've done my eyeshadow and I've got everything on, we can kind of counteract that. Okay, so now that my face is looking fairly pale, I'm going to be using the last shade. This one is in the shade C14. It is the second lightest from the dark. You guys know what I mean? I don't want to go for the darkest because it looked pretty dark for me. But I'm going to use this shade just as a contour. So I'm going to just contour the cheekbones and then take that up to the temple area. And I'm also just going to contour my jaw area. Okay, so one thing that I would say is that you can contour with this. It's a beautiful contour color, but you want to work in sections because it dries so quickly. Like, you saw me struggle. If you go straight away, like if I go straight away, then it's going to blend out beautifully. I'm going to contour and sort of bronze with it. It will do it beautifully. But if I kind of leave it to sit there, then it will dry really quickly and get patchy. Okay guys, when I say that this might be a favorite concealer, I mean it might be Pro Longwear and this one is sick. Like, it's so good. Now that my base is more or less done, I'm just going to quickly go ahead and do my brows. So for my brows, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Dark Brown. Just taking my MAC Angle brush in 208, and I'm just going to be filling my brows in as I usually do. It's the same in every single video, but I want to just show you when I carve them out with concealer. So I'm just going to quickly do this step and then brush them through with a spoolie just to soften them a little bit. Okay, so now that I've got my brows on, I'm actually going to go back in with the Revolution concealer in the shade C5. This is the lightest one out of the bunch. I'm just going to use that doe foot applicator just to prime the whole of my eyelid, because you guys know that I usually use concealer, and just to carve out that brow to see how nicely this works. Okay, so I personally would say that that has given me so much coverage. It's a really nice base just to start any eyeshadow. It's a really nice blank canvas and it's blended out really well. I did do one eye at a time just because I do know that it dries a little bit quicker. But yeah, bomb concealer for £4. So before this concealer creases, I want to set it really quickly with a loose powder. I'm going to be using the Cover FX Translucent Light Powder, just using my Kat Von D brush and just packing this powder very generously onto my eyelids and then just buffing it out using a fluffy brush. So I guess in theory we are just kind of baking our eyelids to start off, and this concealer is taken really well to powder as well and buffing as well. Sometimes concealers don't take very well to a powder when you're doing a swiping motion, but this has left my eyelids really smooth. It hasn't really clung on to any places, but yeah, no, really smooth for eyeshadow application. Okay, so for eyes, I'm going to go really simple. I'm actually just going to grab Gold Deposit by MAC. This is the first thing to hand. I'm going to be taking just a fluffy brush and just buffing this all over the eyelid. I want this all to be about skin, so it's going to be very, very simple on the eyes. Once that's done, you guys know that I like to hide my under eye wrinkles, the fine lines underneath that, just by smoking out a shadow. So I'm actually going to be taking the BH Cosmetics contour palette, and I'm just going to be mixing this brown warm tone shade with more of a reddy undertone shade, taking that fluffy brush again, and then just sweeping this underneath my eyes, taking this quite low down because you know I like a little bit of a smoke underneath my eyes. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do for eyes. I'm going to be adding a little bit of mascara really quickly. Of course, I'm using the Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara and adding a couple of coats of this mascara before I add my falsies. Okay, so for lashes, I'm actually going to be using the BOUCHE Lashes in Salacia Lash. They're a little bit embarrassing because I've used them so many times. I've probably worn them about 20 times now, and they're still going strong. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to these bad boys, and then I'm going to chuck them on. Okay, so now that I've chucked the lashes on, I need to just add a little bit of mascara to my bottom lashes. And for this, I actually like to use the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash, just because the wand is so sturdy, very narrow, and that way I'm not going to get mascara on my skin. So I'm just going to chuck a little bit of this mascara on to my bottom lashes. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight. For highlight, we are going to be using the MAC Gold Deposit again, because I want this to be quite an easy tutorial for you guys. We don't want to use too many products. I'm going to go in with a MAC 188 stippling brush and just apply this just to my cheekbones to give us a little bit of shine there. Ooh, girl. Now, because I do need a little bit of warmth, I'm going to be adding a little bit of bronzer. And we're going to go in to Manuel Beauty's Skinny Dip. I love this bronzer because it's got a little bit of shine in it as well. But it is just going to really warm up the skin because the concealers were a little bit light for me. So I'm just going to use that same 188 brush again and just bronze up my skin. Okay, so for lips, I'm going to start off just by using MAC's lip liner in the shade Cork. And I'm just going to outline my lips with this colour. I'm then going to take a little bit of peachstock and we're going to put this all over the lip. Then I'm just going to finish off with a little bit of gloss. I have become a gloss girl. We are a gloss convert. I'm going to be using the Dose of Colours collaboration with Desi and Katie in the over the top gloss. So I'm just going to dot this into the centre and then just blend this out. Now I am just going to finish off with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus as per usual. I always say, I don't know why I'm talking right now, but I always say a little bit, but I drench myself. So guys, that brings me to the end of this makeup tutorial. I just want to personally thank Makeup Revolution for bringing out some bomb concealers. These are amazing. You guys know that I've tried many a concealer in my time. It is an addiction of mine. I tend to buy a lot of concealers. I've tried so many from so many different brands, and these ones are amazing. My only mishap would be the color. The color range is good, however they jump from like fairly, I would say like light tan to very dark very quickly. I don't feel like they've got enough. I don't feel like they've got enough olive tone shades for a tan skin, and that would be my only mishap. That is my mishap with drugstore products. I don't feel like they cater too much to us dark tan skin girls. It's just something that we gotta live with. We have to pay more money, but that would be my only error with them. I would say that if you're fairer than myself, then you're gonna find the colors. Even if you're a tan skin, you can see it on me. You can make it work. You might need to mix shades together by mixing the C5, which has got a little bit more yellow in it. I would use a C10 on a daily basis. It's beautiful. I didn't need to color correct, and you guys saw that it doesn't look ashy at all on my skin. It can come up a little bit fair, but you can always bronze it up. So I would really recommend them. I think for £4, they are very good value for money. So head down to your Superdrug and pick them up. Like, even if it is for contouring, I feel like the contouring shade was beautiful as well if you want to just contour and highlight with it. So guys, that was my first impressions and review. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you want to see really quick videos like this, then let me know down below with like the latest products that have come out. I would love to do that for you. It's really fun, and I just kind of like doing my first impressions for you guys as well. Let me know down below. Let's conversate down below, and as per usual, I love you guys so very much. I will see you in my next video. Mwah.